Every child of God has his season. Right about now, it's all
check it. It seems as if just yesterday I was doing pole, surrounded by jokers who couldn't do nothing.
Every child of God has his season. Right about now, it's all
check it. It seems as if just yesterday I was doing pole, surrounded by jokers who couldn't do nothing.
Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Welcome back to the Proven Wrong Show. I'm your host, Vince Gordon, and glad to be back in the studio after a well-deserved vacation. I am so excited to be back. I had a great trip. You know, vacation is not a vacation if you don't rest. And so some folks have to come home after vacation and take a rest. But in my case, I didn't have to rest when I got home. I got a lot of rest. I was in sunny California, and left just in time before the freeze came to Jackson the day before. My son, he was left here, and my daughter was left in Jackson to deal with the frozen pipes and no water situation. At least I got to get away from it for 2 whole weeks, and it was perfect timing. And my son asked me, he said, "Daddy, you must have planned that to leave in time." I said, "No, son, I had my ticket. My wife and I had our plane tickets months ahead of time. We had already planned to go to California for Christmas, and so we didn't plan it. But we are so grateful to God to be able to get away and rest and be warm. You know, you get to Los Angeles and for Christmas, and it's 80 degrees and 81 degrees in California while we were there, and we got out of California just in time because they dealing with a whole lot of rain and mudslides and all that. They're not used to having that much rain at one time, so prayers go out to the folks in California right now. And so I'm excited to be back. Got a lot of rest, got a lot of reading done. Got a chance to check on my mother-in-law. Some folks don't realize I'm originally from Los Angeles, so when I go back to California, it's going home. And so, but my wife and I had a great time, and appreciate everybody who prayed for our safe travel, and hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. We did. Hope you got what you wanted, and if you didn't, there's always tomorrow, you know. And so I told the students before I left at Capital City Alternative School that it's not about the gift. It's not about how much money people spend on you. It's about the thoughtfulness. It's the thought behind the gift. And, you know, this year my wife got me a very thoughtful gift. My mother passed away probably 13 years ago, and my wife never got a chance to meet her, but she knows how close I was to my mother. And so she bought me a Christmas ornament, and that had my mother's name on it, and the day, her birthday, and the day she passed away. And that was so thoughtful. That was very, very thoughtful, and I'm much appreciative of it. But we got some other gifts, and we exchanged some other gifts, and I pray that everybody got what they were looking for. And then I pray you gave a thoughtful gift to someone else. It's about being a blessing to someone else. It's not about gimme. It's about how you can be a blessing to somebody else. But this is a new year. And with a new year comes New Year's resolutions. It comes spike in gym memberships and all those other things during this time of year. I saw Planet Fitness. They got that special. Y'all know they be running them specials. $1 joining fee, $10 a month. I'm not endorsing Planet Fitness, but if you're going to go work out, if you're like me, I work out better if I leave the house. And I have a gym at my house that's collecting dust, treadmill, bicycle, free weights, punching bag, you name it, pretty much I got it at my house. But it's collecting dust. It's about the mind, though. If you can get your mind into it, man, that's all. That's the first step. Get your mind right. And so for me this year, I did not have a New Year's resolution. I try not to make resolutions. What I try to do is think differently and do things differently. So for me, and I want you to call in tonight. Call in and tell me what your New Year's resolution is, and what do you plan to do different. It may not even be a New Year's resolution, but what do you plan on doing different in 2023 than you did in 2022? And so for me, I changed some things. I've already changed some things. I said, I started out by saying, 2023 is going to be about me. It's going to be about me in 2023. And when I was in Los Angeles, my mind changed. I believe the Lord speaks to me, and he spoke to me and told me, is it really? It's going to be about you? Really? And I quickly changed. It didn't even take long. I said, it's not about me. It's about thee in 2023. So it's all about the Lord for me in 2023. So it's not about me. It's about thee in 2023. And so I'm going to make a commitment that each day it's going to be about the Lord. I've been walking with the Lord now for a good while, 30 plus years fully committed to Christ. Not saying that I've been perfect, and I know I haven't. And I've made a lot of mistakes. And in that 30-year time period, I've gone through a divorce, mother's passed, dad's passed, and a host of other things. Son died, was killed in Jackson in that 30-year period. But I'm still here. So I say, you know what, Lord, I'm not going to give up on you, because it's not about me. It's going to be about thee in 2023. And hopefully other people that's watching this show feels the same way. We got to do some things differently, y'all. We can't keep doing the same old, expecting different results. They say that's called insanity. And so I'm not a sane person. God has given me not a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. And so I'm going to rock that sound mind this year. That's my goal. And so what's your New Year's resolution? Give us a call, 1-800-492-5186. Or you can call the local number. It should be appearing on the screen. If it's not already scrolled across, it will real soon. But 1-800-492-5186. You can call us and let me know. Talk to me tonight. What's your New Year's resolution? So once again, I'm glad to be back in the city of Jackson. I was in Los Angeles for 2 weeks, and that's long enough. I grew up there. I grew up in the midst of Bloods and Crips. And in their heyday, and my stepmother still lives in South Central, and so we stayed in South Central. But we got a chance to go out and visit and sightsee and tour. But our main goal was just be there with family, cousins, and aunties, and my childhood friend. I got a chance to go to SoFi Stadium, beautiful, beautiful stadium. Christmas morning, I was at the Rams game. Watching the Rams, had great seats in the lower level, had a great seats. That was a gift from a family friend. My wife's good friend from childhood works for Sony TV. And we had a great time. I got a chance to take a good buddy of mine, my only friend that I've had since the Cub Scouts. I'd say we've been friends since Footy Pajamas. And so he and I got a chance to go to the game together. So I got my first caller. Let me see who this is. Can you hear me, caller?
I hear you, Mr. Gordon. This is Deacon Tim. How you doing this evening?
Hey, what's going on, Deacon Brown? How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing wonderful. I had a good day this week. This is the day of a new month, new year. I do want to say a comment. My New Year's resolution for me, for myself, this is a year. God bless me more healthy spring. I did my fast this week, did my fasting prayers for myself. As God, showing 2023 for me, I want you to do God's work for me, His community, for His politicians, for myself, because I enjoy doing this, because this is what helped me to keep myself out of trouble, learn things about, my own country, just go to work, come on home, and not going out different places, like going wrong place, wrong time. I learned that experience because the Lord blessed me, took me off of that. He blessed me a more good life decision for me, for myself. I want to let you know my new resolution is for myself, for me, for my own self.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling, Tim. It's going to be a good year for you, man. I believe that. All right.
All right, sir.
Appreciate you, man. Have a great evening. All right. Keep listening. Yeah, that's Tim Brown, faithful brother. He called me when I was in Los Angeles just to check on me, make sure I was all right, if I was going to be on the show last week. And so we appreciate you, Tim. And so that's our first caller for tonight. Call in. Let us know what's your New Year's resolution. Tim said he's gonna be focused on himself this year, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And so I asked a question when I first came into the studio. Maybe somebody in the audience can help me. I asked, what did we end the year in our murder count? You know, and it's crazy we even ask those kind of questions. The past few years, we've been over 100 murders in the city of Jackson. Last year, we were the murder capital of the U.S. And this year, I think we came down a little bit. I'm not sure. We're still looking to find out if anybody know what that count is. But the sad thing is today is January the 5th, and we've already had 2 murders in the city of Jackson. Last night, we had a 15-year-old young lady was shot and killed in Jackson, on the streets of Jackson. They found her body actually in the street in South Jackson, and you know, not far from where I live. And that's folks, we got to do something different. This is the Proven Wrong show. And so we're all about what can we do to prove folks wrong. We hadn't gotten there yet, and not in the black-on-black crime, not in the number of our young people that we're losing to gun violence. We hadn't figured that out. And so now I saw that not the sheriff, but they've gotten the marshal, U.S. Marshals have come to Jackson and want to meet with our law enforcement folks to see what can we do, what can they do, what else can be done. So people are coming together with the thinking caps on to say, what can we do? And so they're going to have some forums. The mayor said there's going to be some meetings outside of the 4 walls of the meeting that they had today. That was a closed meeting with law enforcement and a few other politicians, I believe, to figure out what can be done. And so we're going to have to come up with something. It's going to take a collective effort, but I believe we can do it. I believe 2023 can be the year where we can be strategic, we can be thoughtful, and we can come up with some solutions. We can give our young folks something to do. You know, I shout out to Ronnie Crudup Jr. and what he's doing, Representative Crudup and Minister Crudup. He's all that. He wears a lot of different hats. He's a father of 3, but he's a guy that really is sold out to trying to do something for our young folks. He took over the pool in South Jackson on Terry Road. The city gave him that pool. The city wasn't using it. Might as well give it to him. What else can you give away, city, that you're not using, especially that you're not using to its full capacity? So they've also given one of the other pools over off of Mill Street to another brother that's trying to do some things over there on that side of town. What about Shepherd Gym? What about some of these other gyms? I know that the city owns, at the parks and recreations. Come on, let's come up with something. Can we get some individual funders together and redo the golf world on State Street, where the old go-kart track used to be? There's an old go-kart track used to be off of Robinson Road by the Metro Center. There's nothing for our young people to do. And so when they create their own fun and left to their own devices, they come up with killing each other, not learning how to solve conflicts. I met with a gentleman this morning, a developer, brother I pray with on Thursdays. A group of us, we pray together across racial and denominational lines for the young folks in this city. Excuse me, for the city of Jackson, period, just trying to come up with solutions. And he's building a cell phone, social media free, technology free space for at this school. It's a private school. They wanted to develop an outside space where teenagers can go absent of their cell phones, absent of their devices, in order to go and utilize this beautiful space that he's going to develop. You can't bring a cell phone out there. That's some radical thinking, but I believe it'll work. I really believe it'll work. So we're going to continue on this Proven Wrong show right after this commercial. We'll be right back.
Are you dreaming of becoming an entrepreneur, but you're not sure where or how to start? At Entrepreneurs Academy 101, our online program will guide you step by step on how to start and grow your own business. We offer courses such as how to write a business plan, how to create a budget, and so much more. Our online training program is designed for you to learn at your own pace, and there's no set order to complete this program. Because our academy is online, you have the choice to learn with a group, with friends, or individually. Upon completion of the entire curriculum, you will receive a certificate of achievement to acknowledge that you have completed the training needed to become a successful entrepreneur. So enroll today to design the life that you love. Contact your entrepreneur coach, Brenda Myers, at 601-672-0695 or visit our website at www.entrepreneursacademy101.com for more information.
All right, welcome back to the Proven Wrong show. Give me a call, 1-800-492-5186. All right, so we left off, we're still trying to find out the total number, what our count was for 2022. We have to have a benchmark, something to shoot at to say, look, we're not going to get that high this coming year. And hopefully the folks that are in charge will come up with some solutions, and not only come up with solutions, but put their money where their mouth is. You know, I was talking about the brother that's developing this technology-free zone, outdoor space, and for some folks that sound foreign. You know, I take 55 young people to camp every summer in the mountains from Jackson, and we have a blast. It's life-changing. But when I first started taking teenagers to camp, you know, cell phones wasn't such a big deal. Phones weren't even out when I first started. They had pagers, but cell phones hadn't got as popular as they are now. And so now it's like when I tell teenagers, well, hey, we're going to camp, we're going to the mountains, swimming, basketball, jacuzzi, zip line, go-karts, horseback riding. Oh, man, 3 meals a day, all you can eat for a whole week for only $200. Now they say, can we take our cell phone? I said, but the only thing, you won't be able to have your cell phone while you're in the mountains. Oh, I ain't going to that. And so they would choose a trip of a lifetime to turn down a trip of a lifetime just because they can't leave their phones behind. But it never fails. Every year I still get a busload of teenagers that want to try it. And then the next year those same teenagers want to go back. And so because they realized for 1 week they didn't die. No, they didn't hear any gunshots for a whole week. No sirens for a whole week. They were there with 400 other teenagers from across the South and the Southeast, and black students, white students, Asians, Puerto Ricans, you name it, Latinas. They had a blast. And so I believe that technology-free space can work and will work for those who want to try something new. And so, again, let's come up with some solutions. Let's put some money to it. Let's not just talk about it. Let's be about it, and show our young people that you care. I think one of the real biggest issues is that our young folks feel like nobody care about them. They just feel like they left to themselves. And if they're left to themselves in this world, this reality that they live in is as bleak as it looks to them and as bleak as it seems, then they're going to want to be in that virtual world. They want to be just like this in a virtual world, playing the games, TikTok, chit-chatting to folks in other cities and other places, because at least this way, I don't have to deal with reality. But it's up to us. It's up to the adults, the leaders in charge, the parents, to help to change the reality for our young people. Now, they're not without skin in the game as well. Young folks, you play a big part in your own destiny. And so you have to realize this is your future. And so, but as the adults, what are we going to do? How are we going to help our young people navigate this? And how are we going to change their reality? Because their virtual reality is where they want to hang out. How do we change their reality? All right? So let's come up with some solutions. Let's make some changes. Let's make 2023 a great year for our young people. You know, and that's going to start with this. What are we going to do with this water crisis, y'all? Listen, I didn't have to deal with it for 2 weeks, but as soon as I got back to Jackson, busted pipes at one of my rental property, actually two of my properties. Thank the Lord, they've been fixed. But I still have not taken a shower in 2 days. I've taken a wash up, but I hadn't taken a shower in 2 days, y'all. I have no water pressure at my house in South Jackson. I live the furthest away from the water plant, I guess, and that's why South Jackson folks are still struggling with no water pressure. And so we have to do something different. If I don't have water pressure by this weekend, I'm getting a hotel room for the weekend. Thank the Lord we're able to do that. But there's a lot of folks that can't. So I'm speaking specifically to our city leaders. There's a lot of people that are not in the situation and the position my wife and I are. We don't have small children at home. We don't have any children at home. It's nothing for us to go get a hotel room. We can survive. We can do without, and we have. But I always look out for the lowest man on the totem pole. We have citizens in Jackson that can't leave. They can't go get a hotel room. My grandmother's 101. Will be 102 in May, you know, and still lives alone, but very little water pressure in the streets in the city of Jackson. And so what are we going to do? Look out for the low man on the totem pole. Let's look out for the least of these and see what we can do differently, okay? So we're right back to our New Year's resolutions. Producers, talk to me. What's your New Year's resolution in 2023? What do you plan on doing different? I need to hear from one of y'all. Being punctual. Whoa. Man, that's a good one. That's a good one. We talked about that this morning, again, in our prayer group, about 10 of us, businessmen. And we talked about the fact that this next generation of workers, the soft skills, punctuality, being polite, those are called soft skills. Those are in high demand in the business world. Folks who can just come to work on time, being punctual. We should be sick and tired of living by CPT time, color people's time. We just show up when we show up. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. And that doesn't get you far. Soft skills like yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. The customer is always right. We know the customer is not always right. But in business, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a small business. My wife and I, Pop Delicious Gourmet Popcorn. And if a customer comes, one of the first things we said that as a business owner, if a customer had a complaint about the popcorn, excuse me, this popcorn is stale. Our only response is, we will fix that. How can we fix that? And we'll pop you some fresh popcorn. We'll make you some. We're sorry you got a bad batch. We'll take care of that. That's it. Bam. And customer service. I was at the dollar store on Terry Road yesterday. Just went in because I was hungry. I was hungry, almost hangry. But I was hungry, went in to get 2 packs of skins, pork rind skin. Spicy, regular. That's all I wanted. I go to the cashier. The cashier didn't say welcome, hello, nothing. Sitting there eating gummy worms. And ring up my skins, still eating gummy worms. Ring up my skins with one hand while she eating gummy worms. And I give her my money, so now she has to count my change back with her hands that she's been eating gummy worms right in front of me. I'm not telling you what I read or what I heard. I'm telling you what happened to me yesterday. And so those are not good customer service skills. That's just not what you do. You don't eat in public. You don't eat. I used to work at Popeyes right down the street from here when I was in high school. And if you were going to eat, you ate in the lobby on break, or we went around in the back where the customers couldn't see us and ate. And you're always supposed to wash your hands before working with money or dealing with the customers. And some kind of way that has been lost in our community. So employers are just accepting anything. People not taking work serious. And I think it's because we're giving out too many handouts. That's just me. It's just me. I'm thinking we're giving out too many handouts. So call in, talk to me. Tell me what you're thinking. Prove me wrong. But when them government handouts go away and these jobs disappear, only the folks that have these punctual time can get to work on time. Great soft skills, interpersonal skills. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Thank you. You're welcome. Sneeze. God bless you. Zunheit. Whatever you're going to say. Opening the door for the lady. Letting somebody go in front of you. Soft skills like that will take you a long way. I heard a brother say the only reason people go to college, when you go to college, you get a college degree for 4 years. They want to see if you can be to class on time, turn in your work on time, and for 4 years, if you can do that, you're probably ready to go to the next level on the job. You're not learning a whole lot. You're getting the basics of whatever you're studying. Then you go on to obtain a master's degree, and you're supposed to master that particular discipline. And then if you want to continue going and get your doctorate or a higher degree in whatever field you're specializing in now, and that's supposed to make you a specialist or at least a doctor to be able to do, you're supposed to then know what you're doing. So getting a 4-year degree is basically, let's see if you can get to class, turn in your work, and do all you're supposed to do on time for 4 years. Then we'll give you a piece of paper and say you're ready to go to the next level. At the same time, you're paying for it. So why not learn now? All right? All right, we got one more producer back there. What's your New Year's resolution for 2023? She said she doesn't have one, but to be better than she was last year. All right. Sometimes that's a resolution in itself for some people, just to be better. But I tell you, you're starting out right. Starting out right. Got that hair done. Got it whipped, and so that's a good start for the new year. All right. So call us in. Call and let us know 1-800-492-5186. And if you'd like to be a guest on the Proven Wrong show, you see we don't have any guests tonight, but if you'd like to be a guest, let's talk about how have you proved folks wrong. Email me at vgordonyl@comcast.net. That's vgordonyl@comcast.net, and we'll get you on this show. All right? So, New Year's resolution and our water issue, you know, are you guys sick and tired of being sick and tired? 119. All right, we had 119 murders last year. That's a drop in the year before. So, hey, let's give ourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand. That's still way too many. That's still 3 digits. Let's see for 2023 if we can at least get down to 3 digits. You know, if we can at least get down to, 2 digits, man, that'll be a drastic drop in crime and murders. But the effect all of this is having on our children. I don't have a time showing me when my next commercial, but in a few minutes, I'm sure we'll be going to a commercial. And so, but let's talk about the effects all of this is having on our children. The water issue, the murder issue, the crime in Jackson. I was just watching Family Feud on my way here. And, I told on myself, I was watching Family Feud in my car as I was driving. But one question said, when do you feel most secure? What are you holding when you feel most secure? What are you holding when you feel most secure? The dude banged in, ding. He said a gun. On national TV, what makes him feel most secure is when he's holding a gun. I thought somebody was going to say when I'm holding my spouse, I feel secure. Someone said when one of the answers was when I'm holding a blanket, I feel most secure. I just thought it was interesting that the number one answer on Family Feud, when you feel most secure, is when you're holding a gun. Wow. That's not this gun violence is not just a Jackson thing, y'all. It's a American thing now. And so we got to do something different. We have to do something different. And we can't wait around for other folks to do it. It's going to have to start with us. So we'll be right back after this commercial.
SocratesGarrettENT.com is a diversified firm specializing in recycled aggregates and crushed concrete. SocratesGarrettENT.com's recycled materials provide the construction industry with significant economic and environmental benefits by recycling clean concrete rubble into MDOT grade rock materials. Recycled aggregates and crushed concrete can be applied to driveways, road construction, bank protection, parking lots, general bulk fills, and more. By using SocratesGarrettENT.com's crushed concrete products, anyone from homeowners to general contractors can help reduce landfilled concrete waste, conserve natural resources, and gain significant economic savings on materials and disposal costs. For more information, please call 601-896-0084 or visit us online at SocratesGarrettENT.com.
We are live. We are back in the studio. This is the Proven Wrong show. And when I left off, we were talking about the effects of our children, the effects that all of this is happening on the young people in Jackson, the water crisis. Whenever there's a water situation and we got too much water, dirty water, can't drink the water, got to boil the water, no water pressure. Our children are the ones that are affected the most. Our children and our elderly. Jackson Public School is virtual today. Was virtual. I'm not sure if school's going to happen and be open tomorrow. It's probably going to be virtual again tomorrow. And what happens with virtual school, I have a few folks and family members that are teachers, and they all tell me that when schools are virtual, that these students are not logging into their devices. I know it personally when the pandemic happened the first time, when they were issuing out iPads and laptops for students to go virtual, because I went around with one of the school counselors trying to doing home visits and trying to encourage young people who were seniors in high school to get online. You have the device, you have the Wi-Fi hotspot device, but they're still not logging in, and we wanted to know why. So we went around Jackson, driving around house to house, trying to encourage young folks to log in and do their education. And they weren't doing it. I spoke with a teacher, a male teacher, friend of mine today, and he told me the same thing. He said out of a class of 20 students, he had 3 who logged in. First period. And the third period, he had 1 who was logged in. And so where are the other students? On a pretty day like today, they probably hanging out or playing video games or at North Park Mall somewhere, thinking that their Christmas break has been extended. So one of the effects that students who are not in school because of the water situation, they're not learning. So it is affecting them. And it's affecting them in a negative way. Because just as we talked about earlier, those other schools, those other schools that are not dealing with water pressure, the Madison schools, the Byram Terry schools, the Pearl schools, the Vicksburg schools, these are the students that they're going to have to compete with to get these jobs. So if they have bad soft skills, they're eating candy at the register when they're supposed to be serving the customer, they don't know how to say yes sir, no ma'am, they're disrespectful. They're not learning these social skills and have these social cues. They function better in a virtual world and not the reality in which we live in. What is the workforce going to look like for them in the next 5 to 10 years? And then it's going to affect the seniors. It's affecting them in a negative way. So we have to come up with something. We have to come up with something because it is affecting them. Fear of being shot. I've heard that while mother is taking her children out and homeschooled. The number of students that are trying to be homeschooled now has increased across the country, but it's especially in our communities. But being homeschooled is not just staying at home and being on a computer or being on a phone or a laptop. You're not really learning if the person that's teaching you is not equipped to teach you. And so it's going to continue to have a negative effect on our young people. So we have to come up with something. And I say we because I'm in it. I use me. That's what this platform is for. I want to help. I've always wanted to help. My children are grown and gone. And so, but I'm looking out for the children in the village. Like I said, I live down the street from where that young lady was killed today. I have to pass that same intersection on my way home today where the young lady was killed last night. The 15-year-old was killed last night. I have to drive through that intersection all the time. And that's sad. That is sad. And so we have to do something. So let me ask my audience, anybody that's listening and watching, what happened to, first let me ask, what happened to Adiyambo School? Is Adiyambo School still in existence? Does anyone know? I remember Adiyambo was a school on Robinson Road, African culture that taught black history. They taught the unknown black history, the black history that's not being taught in the public schools that they're trying to get away from. They taught black excellence. They taught black pride. They taught soft skills. They taught discipline and respect for your fellow man. And the students that came out of that school were well educated and well prepared to go to public school or go to college. Is Adiyambo School still in existence? And if so, why haven't we heard anything? Maybe because my children are all grown and gone. I don't know. I remember my children started at Abundant Life Christian Academy. It was a small church school. Our church wanted to educate the young people that came out of our church and out of that community off Northside Drive. It's now Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. They have that building now, but that was Abundant Life Christian Academy. And I could tell you the students that came out of that school were smart. They were some very well-mannered young people, went on to do well in public school, went on to do well in college. The teachers were excellent teachers. They were young, energetic, and their hands weren't tied, and how they taught students, how they loved on our students, how they disciplined our students. So I know Abundant Life Christian Academy is no more. They didn't have the funds to continue. Shout out to Robert Mack, who was the headmaster of that school, and Recia Thompson and Willie Thompson, the founders of that school. Great educated young people that came out of that school. Something is gonna have to happen. If Jackson Public School doesn't get his act together, we're gonna have to start our own. We're gonna have to start our own. You know, a lot of charter schools have been started, and so I'm trying to just throw out some ideas, because I'm really concerned about our young people. We have a lot of wealthy folks, a lot of folks with money. This is the most generous state. That's the number one category that Mississippi can be proud of. It's the most generous state in America and has held that title for a long time. But my white colleagues and my white friends, their children don't have to deal with the stuff that our young folks are dealing with in the inner city Jackson, primarily Jackson Public School. And so we have to do something different. We have to do something different. So I'm open for ideas. I'm just one person, but other people are listening to this show. Come up with your ideas. Call me, talk to me, say something to somebody, sound the alarm. I feel like Lawrence Fishburne in the show School Days. I just want to say, wake up! Classic line in that movie. You know, everybody trying to do their own thing. A lot of selfishness was going on, and it was about the fraternities and the sororities. And if you hadn't seen that movie, it's called School Days, and Spike Lee joint. And if you hadn't seen it in a while, watch it again. But that should be on your list of movies to see in 2023. School Days, because I just want to say wake up, because the things that are important we're not focusing on right now. At least we didn't in the past. Hopefully 2023 will be a different year, and we can focus on some things and look at some things differently. That's my hope. That's my prayer. So listen, we got about 10 minutes left on tonight's show. I want to encourage you to call in. We heard from Tim Brown already, 1-800-492-5186. Call in, email the question to me, vgordonyl@comcast.net, or you can go on We Believe TV. Somewhere you'll find it, and we're live. You can send your question in via the computer or your phone. You can text it in. and let us know, what do we need to discuss? What do we need to talk about? How else can we come alongside the leaders in this city? Not bash them, not talk about them, not beat them up. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying, what else can we do? What else can be done? What kind of help do you need? I am not opposed to putting parents in jail either. Let me go on record and say that. I am not opposed to putting parents in jail. We got a lot of resources. We got to figure out how to utilize these resources that are at our disposal. I know the judge from the youth court at the Henley Young Detention Center was in that meeting today with the U.S. Marshal. I know there's a lot. They're building a new jail on McDowell Road, and they're probably going to speed it up because they're going to fill it up. I'm sure they're going to speed up the building process because they know they need a place to put these criminals. We cannot put them back on the street. But in the meantime and in between time, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So this is the Proven Wrong Show. Come on, y'all. Let's prove these folks wrong that says Jackson is just going to crumble. And then somebody else is going to come take it over. We can't wait for Superman. We cannot wait for Superman. If you hadn't seen that documentary, you need to check that out too. It's a documentary called Waiting on Superman. It's dealing with the educational system in America. And that documentary came out a few years ago, but not a whole lot has changed. Matter of fact, it has gotten worse. And so we have to come up with something. And I'm not painting a bleak picture. I'm just trying to share what I see on a daily basis. Okay? All right, call me. 1-800-492-5186. All righty. So we're about to get ready to shut this down for the night since we're not getting any other calls. And I think I've kind of talked your ears down already. And, this is all I had for today. I was thinking and thinking and praying and saying, okay, I know for me, it's not about me this year. I thought it was going to be about me in 2023, but I'm good. I'm good. I am beyond blessed. And so I remember reading in scripture where it says, God told Abraham, I'm going to bless you to be a blessing. And so because I am blessed, I'm saying, okay, God, who am I to bless? You blessed me to be a blessing. How can I be a blessing to the city of Jackson? How can I be a blessing and not a burden? One of the things I hear a lot that I hate hearing is when you meet people and you say, how you doing? Oh, I'm blessed. No, you're not. You're a burden. Don't say you're blessed when you're really a burden. And we have to change some phrases that we use a lot. And what do I mean by that? Now, if you know your rent is due and you're not paying your rent and you moving from house to house and you tearing up folks' house, but every time somebody see you, you say, I'm blessed. No, you're not a blessing. You're a burden. Other folks are taking care of you. The rent money is gone. But then you get put out. You're not blessed. You're a burden. You're a burden. Oh, I'm blessed. But you on a HUD voucher for 6 years. And you can't, and you're not trying to work, but you're saying you're blessed. You're not blessed. You're not blessed. You're a burden. Taxpayers are paying for that house. So stop saying you're blessed and really get blessed. Because when you're blessed, you're a blessing to other people. So don't get me started now. I'm trying to end this show on a good note. But that's just one thing that just, cooked my grits. get my goat or whatever, but come on. Let's really be a blessing to somebody this year. Make this a different year for you. Let's be a blessing to people. And it don't have to, it's not always money. It's not always about money. Be nice to somebody. Open the door for somebody. Call somebody and just encourage them and not burn their ear up with all your problems. Stop being a weight on everybody. Folks don't even like when you call because they know you're going to ask for something. Stop being that person. Don't be that person this year. Be the person that's going to lighten the load for somebody else and stop putting your stuff on other people's shoulders. Then that's when you're a blessing. When you lighten the load of somebody else, let me carry that for you. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. I got that. Then you're a blessing for somebody. But every time somebody see you asking for something, let me hold this, I'll pay you next week. You ain't blessed. You're a burden. Somebody who's blessed is able to bless somebody else. So, again, let's change the way we say some stuff, y'all. You know, I don't even tell people I'm a Christian. You know, I tell folks I love Jesus. I'm a Christ follower, you know. Because if you think I'm a Christian, then you're going to call me a Christian. I don't have to call myself one. Because the word Christian means Christ-like. And so if I'm acting like Christ, if I'm loving like Christ, if I'm being a blessing to other folks like Christ, if I'm listening to your issues with an open mind and an open ear, then you might call me a Christian because I'm Christ-like. But if I'm spreading gossip, if I'm in everybody else's business and not minding my own, but I go to church, that don't make me no Christian. I might be a church goer, but let's change how we say some things. Let's think differently in 2023. Let's really set out to bring God glory this year. Let's really set out to be a blessing to other folks. So I'm here. Call me, email me, talk about me. But you can't cancel me because you didn't get me started. So I know my producer's like, where's this dude coming from? Hey, I came from California this past 2 weeks. I've been doing a whole lot of just relaxing, resting, and saying, okay, Lord, what you want me to do for 2023? Because it's not about me. It's all about thee in 2023. So for people who really know me, they know I love Superman. And I've been wearing a Superman charm on this necklace for 2 years, and it is now removed. And so now I have replaced my Superman necklace because it's not about me, it's about thee. And shout out to Taylor Jewelry on Highway 18 and Greenway Drive, right across from Walmart. Damon Taylor. I picked this piece up today. Beautiful cross, black and silver, matched my chain. And so he hooked me up. It was perfect because I said in 2023 I wanted to do something different. And so I took the Superman off because I can't hide behind the Man of Steel. I'm not him. He's a fictional character, one in which I like, but it's about doing things different, y'all. So take them baby steps. Try to do something different in 2023. Be punctual in 2023. And go out there and be found in 2023. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing. Ladies, stop going out there and trying to find a man. He's supposed to find you. So, but you got to put yourself in a position to be found. So get out there. Put on that smile, be nice, be friendly, and be found this year. And don't go hunting after no man. Don't go running one down and none of that. And watch and see you have a good year. All right, I think that's all I got. I'm down to 26 seconds. So give me an email, vgordonyl@comcast.net. That's vgordonyl@comcast.net. And let's get on the Proven Wrong show. Let's talk about it. All right, whatever you want to talk about, this is the platform. We want you to tell people your testimony and how you have proven people wrong. wrong. God bless you until next week. Shout out. Later.
Every child of God has his season. Right about now, it's all
Yo, check it. It seems as if just yesterday I was doing polling, surrounded by jokers who couldn't